Peace, family. Peace, family. What's going on, y'all? I'm gonna get right to it. We're already running a little late. Pardon my attendance. Pardon my what do you call it? My attendance, right? My tardiness. That's the word. We're gonna get straight to it. Before we get into this conversation, I'm just gonna explain that I am not a Western medical doctor or any of their so-called professionals giving you any kind of curative advice that alludes to, I would say, the healing or the complete cure-all for anything. This is just advice. You can take it how you want. The proof is in the pudding, and we come with the receipts the best we can. This won't be too much about me speaking. I will be speaking, but it's not really about me and what I have to say. It's really about teamwork. Just witness teamwork when you have two brothers that really care about what's going on, the real problems going on in our community. Because whether it's the man or the woman individually, it's still a community problem. So we want to get into some real issues and get to some real solutions so we can bring about better change. Because with better condition, you do better, you feel better, you look better. All of that stirs in the pot, right? So in order to do that functionally, we can detox, but a part of detoxing, once again, is knowing what you're facing, right? So I want to get right into it. The brother I'm getting ready to introduce, he's somebody I learned from, good brother I learned from, and what we're about is restoring the greatness and the truth to ourselves and the Aboriginal American Indian community. And it's not just about saying those words, it's really about living and allowing your genetic code to experience a relay effect and go back into that memory bank. And, you start performing and embodying the characteristics, or you start using that wisdom that's deep within your genetic code. So without further ado, I want to get right into it. Let me invite my good brother over. Peace, family. Come on in, get comfortable. Peace. Appreciate everyone's presence. I know it's a weeknight. Work is the name of the game. Trying to finish it up for Friday. Everybody's hustling, so I'm not gonna waste anyone's time today. Peace, y'all. Peace. Come on in. Let me make sure everything. Hold on. Make sure I'm good. Okay. All right.
What's that? How you doing?
Peace. What's going on, bro?
Yo, cool, man. How's everything?
Everything is wonderful, man. As long as I keep putting in this work, living my purpose every day. That's everything for me, man. So how you doing, man? How's everything on your end?
Yo, I'm good, man. Just looking forward to getting more done. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. So you say you want this rat poison situation, huh?
Yes, sir. And
how you want to begin?
Well, for those who are new to myself and how I do things, I keep it straight 100. my old page has been banned and all of that, shadow banned and blocked in so many different ways. So I'm a truther for real. And, you know, the truth has everything to do with my bloodline. So the narrative is the narrative. That's how you follow the truth. But how real we keep it, that's the special thing about what I bring to my my platforms. We're not here for any scripted behavior. We got plenty of documentation, facts. We're open to answering questions. But how I do things is in a respectable way. And if you have an issue, beyond the question, if it's an issue, if there's a disagreement, you know, bring your receipts. You know, please don't come with the emotionalism, because in order to talk about real deep shit, you got to have your toughness. You got to be tough. You know, you never know when the stone is going to hit you. You got to be all right with that in order to fix the problem, right? So I was raised like that, and I come like that when it comes to situations like this. So what I want to do is I want to keep a very organic tone with it, because we brothers and we vibing on a problem that our sisters are faced with. You know what I mean? I mean, our brothers are faced with too, no doubt. But, you know, you and I know the sisters are heavily bombarded with warfare via warfaring. You know what I mean? And, you know, I want, before we begin that premise, I want you to, you know, briefly get into, you know, just who you are a little bit, what you do, and, you know, what you're here to restore in your day-to-day duties and stuff like that.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, and I agree with you know, agree with everything you just said right there. So yeah, I'm known as Tomahawk Tony. You know, some of y'all see the Aboriginal American Truth situation. You know, there's just an information sharing thing. But just get straight to it. What was that? February, I just published my second book. It's titled "We the People Have Been Poisoned," and what it deals with is the fact you have eugenicists. Many people heard of them. Eugenicists such as Margaret Sanger of Planned Parenthood. You know, Walter Plecker, who reclassified our people into being quote unquote black, colored, Negro, mulatto, etc., and all of that, right? So, hold on one second. One of the people's hitting me.
No doubt.
Yeah, this the elder right here too, by the way. I can send this link to her.
Yeah, listen, man. All power to us, bro. It's whatever you want to do.
Matter of fact, yeah, let me try to send her the link. Yeah, because all right, so yeah. Back to what I was saying, right? So this elder right here, Chief Noya, you know, she shared this to me. You know, she been dealing with the effects, the harm caused by the rat poison, coumarin, and all of that. So basically, you know, we did research together. You know what I'm saying? I just basically went in on it because it was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like you hearing from your people that they suffering some wild health issues, right? And you know, you see your people better, right? And so I'm like hold on, like what you say is called coumarin? And she's like, yeah, I bought this hair product back in 2017, and then like within about a month, 2 months, like her natural hair was all the way down to the middle of her back fell out. You see that? And 4 years later, she's still suffering from it. And it was like, yo, that's crazy. Like, what's that chemical? So, you know, I get to the research about it, and then it was like a whole like, bombardment. Like, it was ridiculous amounts of information I uncovered associated to this rat poison. It's literally a rat poison in personal care cosmetic products, not limited to hair products either. You see what I'm saying? So,
okay.
You know, it's, yeah, so basically I'm a researcher, you know what I'm saying? I'm a business owner, and you know what I mean, I do a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? But right now, you know what I'm saying, I'm just trying to bring awareness to my American people, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, this is something we can take control of. You know what I'm saying? We can control our health, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And things that's being, you know, targeted towards us, such as a rat poison, you know what I'm saying? We have the ability to correct this. You see what I'm saying? And everything else, like, this is ours. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing, you know, our American people need really realize and manifest for themselves throughout our territories is the fact that we have a duty, an active duty and responsibility to secure what's ours. You know what I'm saying? What's going on with the foreigners, where they from and all of that, they ain't none of our business. You see what I'm saying? But what's going on right here, rat poison, Planned Parenthood, contributing to the genocide of our people for over 80 years, that's something that we can take control of and correct. You know what I'm saying? My whole objective is our youth deserve a better experience. You know what I'm saying? Many of us, you know what I'm saying, we grew up. I mean, some people, they was present in the 60s, 70s. I was present in the 80s. That's when I arrived in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Yo, coming up right now, they deserve a better experience than we've already seen. You see what I'm saying?
Indeed. Exactly.
Yeah, so like, pardon me, I get excited. I mean, but
listen. You know, this is why I said, you know, this ain't scripted, because energy is what runs my life, energy. And my life, and this is a part of my life right now. So energy don't lie. We don't have time to wonder, and you know, we don't have time to be trying to pick through if somebody's keeping it real or not, right? So I know the realest thing you can do is be honest and be sincere, right? Be transparent, be stern, you know, but be someone who's authentic at the end of the day, right? So what I do is I know a thing or two about the body, so what I bring that modality to, you know, conversations, because it's all about troubleshooting, right? So, you know, I'm an 80s baby. And, you know, I came up in the 90s though, you know what I'm saying? So it was just the 80s on fire pretty much, you know what I mean? It was like a mutated 80s era. So we speak the same language to a degree, right? Now you remember when you had to go search for the knowledge, right? You had to go search for it. You couldn't just sit back and just let it come to you. You remember them days, right?
You couldn't go on YouTube.
Couldn't go on YouTube. You couldn't go you couldn't go nowhere, and just out of nowhere you got 100,000 words telling you everything you need to know, right? So so now I'm bringing context to the situation before I ask my questions. Now with this emergence of information, I mean misinformation and information, but this explosion of data, right? Whether it's chaotic or organized. The people have now been conditioned to knowing that, okay, there is some truth in this. I mean, we had the glyphosate a lawsuit situation, plenty of people getting, there's rat poison everywhere. I deal with that, just in agricultural studies, dealing with my coaching, telling people to really choose organic for a reason. I mean, we got to do the best we can what we got if we ain't talking about owning and managing our own land, then don't be complaining about, oh, this ain't the original seed, or this ain't this and this ain't that. If we ain't trying to get back to no original practices, then it shouldn't be, do the best you can. And if it's organic and it costs an extra couple dollars, there's a reason for it. However, even if it's all screwed, so be it. We was born in it. We as screwed as we ever going. We eating fake food, putting chemicals in our hair and all of that stuff. So, okay, it's not about that. It's about, okay, our awareness is a little more these days, right? And, we can talk about these things comfortably without, this whole, y'all think everything is trying to kill us, or, y'all think everything is this and everything is that. Now it's getting real, and people are having real live health issues from, not just what you're saying about the hair falling out, but the uterus falling out.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? The attack on the uterus, and of course other areas in the body. So what I want to ask you first, as someone who is presenting this information in your, in your book and everything like that, not just your book, to follow the YouTube page, the YouTube channel, the brother got in Aboriginal American Truths, right?
We got Aboriginal American Truths, and then you got my Tomahawk Tony pages on what channels, what have you. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, okay. I transition between the joints, yeah.
Okay, so now that we're open to have this conversation a little deeper, let's give a background. Before we get into anything, we want people to understand context, right? So let's just, could you explain a little bit about the background of the war machine that's facing in this specific sector of health, beauty, cosmetics, and that form of chemical warfare, and dealing with strictly warfaring, because it could get real expansive. I'm somebody that I study in that lane too. It could get real. We could be on here talking about 3 chemicals for 3 hours. So sticking with coumarin, because I'm going to discuss the natural aspect of coumarin. But before we get into warfare and coumarin, who are the dealers? What are the deals made? Who are the players that's playing? And, just a little bit about the agenda, and in an updated version, because, we still see that there's this watered down, outdated version of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding on what's going on current affairs that we need to upgrade. We need to update, right? So if you may, if you have it within you, can you give us a update on, the players that play and what they playing for and the stakes on the line, and how that affects us and where we stand in that?
No doubt, no doubt. Yeah. So first and foremost, right? Warfare was developed by the University of Wisconsin. All right. The WARF, that stands for Wisconsin Alumni Research Foundation. The ARIN in the warfare, and combined with the WARF, the ARIN, that comes from coumarin. So basically, right, you have a guy by the name of Carl Paul Link. All right. Carl Paul Link, he studied this substance, coumarin, because you had cattle that was dying, like their bodies started hemorrhaging, they was bleeding out, all types of crazy things. Basically, it was a whole cancer developing tumors, etc., in these cows and all of that, right? This was back in the early 1900s, right? And so he synthesized the coumarin, which he extracted, like he synthesized this from molded grass that the cows were eating. So we're talking about something that was developed from death, pretty much. You see what I'm saying? Like this substance, coumarin, developed literally from toxins that developed through the decomposition processes, if you will. All right. Anyway, he found a patent. What is it? Later on, University of Wisconsin filed a patent. Now, so my question was, how does this tie in to the cosmetics industry? How did it go from University of Wisconsin developing this for the purpose of being a rat poison? Because warfarin was originally developed to be a rat poison. If you look up coumarin, it is a sediment of warfarin. Anyway, how did it end up in cosmetic products? So I started looking into that, and that's when I came across. Everybody heard of Avon, right? So before it was called, you had a dude by the name of David H. McConnell. David H. McConnell was a chemist, and the name prior to Avon, it was called California Perfume Company. All right. So I found formulas. I found a throwback. I'm talking about early 1900s Avon formulas, then known as California Perfume Company formulas, right? And literally, he had coumarin in these cosmetic products that he was pushing back then. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm like, yo, something was hitting me, like spirit just hitting me, like, yo, how's this connected to eugenesis? Because this same period, as Walter Plecker, everybody heard about, people heard about Morgan Sanger, and I'm like, yo, how is this connected to them? And so I started looking into that, and basically the connection that I found, right? So the dude called Paul Link, once again, this is a chemist. You have the dude Chauncey D. Leake. He's another chemist, and he's a military grade. I'm talking about United States World War I era bio deals with.
Oh yeah, that's when they was getting it on. They was getting it on with the science then.
Yeah, and so his name was Chauncey D. Leake. So Chauncey D. Leake, right? He studied oxidative stress, and this is what the rat poison literally causes. So you have a network of scientists from military grade all the way down to consumer chemicals. You see what I'm saying? Consumer goods, things of this nature, and they're all working together with the eugenicists. They're all eugenicists. You see what I'm saying? Dude, Chauncey D. Leak, he said he was one of the board of directors for Planned Parenthood back in the early 1900s. So he sat alongside of Margaret Sanger and everybody else. You see what I'm saying? And so next up is so we got.
So pause there. Just before you continue, give for those who may be a little young in knowledge, explain briefly what the eugenics program or the eugenics society is about.
All right, so
or just a brief definition of eugenics, so we can keep it brief and we can keep it moving.
Basically, these are genocide specialists that want to control the population, ultimately remove the population of people they view as not being wanted to live. Long story short. So pretty much, if you read the words of Margaret Sanger herself, she said indigenous people, quote unquote, black people, etc., they don't need to live. They don't need to be having babies. Bottom line. All right. And so furthermore,
there's plenty of quotes, plenty of different quotes to substantiate that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the situation, right? You got the dude Clarence James Gamble. Everybody heard of Procter and Gamble, right? You know what I'm saying? They make the tampons to the toothpaste to pretty much all household care cosmetic products, and you know what I mean? They got a whole product list. You know what I'm saying? And so Carl James Gamble, right? Known eugenicist, and he was invested in the 1940s forward. He was invested in the forced sterilization of quote unquote black people in the Carolinas. All right. So this is the dude Procter and Gamble. Procter and Gamble, the one of the founders of Procter and Gamble, he's invested in the forced sterilization of quote unquote black people in North America. Okay, while he's also manufacturing chemicals for personal care cosmetic products, and he's selling these things, right?
Wow.
So in regards to
we talking right up the uterine wall, huh? Right up the uterine, right straight to it, huh? Tampons and all of that.
Yeah, I mean, so it's from the outside of your body to the inside of your body. They done develop these quote unquote products to destroy you from literally from the outside in and the inside out. Long story short, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Continue, my brother. Continue.
You just. I mean, everybody's listening right now. Look up oxidative stress or cellular death.
And I post on that all the time. I post on that all the time, bro.
Yeah,
And
you know what I'm saying? Like you said earlier, as far as medical advice and things of that nature, I'm not doing that neither. But the situation is, we got to do research out there. You see what I'm saying? And when we look into this rap music and what it causes, it literally causes cellular death. So literally, this is designed to not only metabolize within your body. I'm just like, this is literally from the mother and
breaking up a little bit, bro.
Development of the baby if the baby's born, huh?
You're breaking up a little bit. I don't know if anybody else is seeing it, but on my end, it's buffering a little bit, and my Wi-Fi good, so. Keep going.
Yeah,
it may be the ops. It may be the ops. Go.
Yeah, they don't like me, man. They don't like me.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that. They don't like me.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they don't like me either. But I got this fresh page, so it's gonna get hot quick anyway. This ain't about fashion. This is about using technology to bring as much information as possible before, the lights go out. Because we don't plan on creating our own technology so we can secure how long we get to do this, then this is how it's got to be. You know what I mean? I'm a realist before anything. So, go ahead. Keep doing what you're doing, bro. That static ain't about nothing.
Yeah, this thing breaking up crazy right now, yo. I don't know if y'all can hear me, but
So you're saying that the companies that put out these chemicals for maybe pharmaceuticals or other industries that have nothing to do with healthcare, sanitation or whatever. So you're saying they're investing millions, if not billions, into the healthcare, cosmetic, health and beauty industries.
Oh, I couldn't hear your question.
You good now?
Yeah, I hear you clear now. Yeah.
Okay. No, I was asking if you can explain a little bit briefly, not explain, but just you were already speaking about the Procter and Gamble situation and how they're into chemical warfare, and they're also heavily vested into the healthcare, health and beauty, cosmetic, and even the clothing industry. You know what I mean? So, what is that? How does that affect our women? Because you're speaking on oxidative stress, and that is cellular necrosis. That is cellular death, right? And that means lack of oxygen, and lack of oxygen means lack of defense, and lack of defense means open for invasion to anything that's ready to get you, whether they want to take over your host, take over your body, or whether it's just trying to take you out. So I know my story. I'm not here to really highlight, nutrition of, food and drink. Let's talk about the health risk, and because that's a segue. Oxidative stress. What's the health risk associated that you study with just the overusage? I know our women are already going through it, and fibroids is, crazy. Cheese and these hair care products, you're almost guaranteed fibroids at a young age. So, let's talk. Other than that, including that, let's talk about some of the health risks with the over usage of these products that our women are putting on.
Well, the situation. Yeah, so the situation, right? You think about it, right? So you got people applying rat poison from the time they wake up to the time they rest. You see what I'm saying? From the time they get up to the time they rest, and throughout the course of the day. You see what I'm saying? So you shower with it. You know what I'm saying? You apply it when you get out the shower. You apply it throughout the day. We're talking about in lotions, shampoos, conditioners, various hair products. You know what I'm saying? You got it in the sprays, the colognes, perfumes, body sprays, deodorants. All right. You got it in the facial creams. You got it in the beard oils. You got it in foot creams. You know what I'm saying? They got it for all over your body pretty much, right? And so it's different percentages, and most of these percentages are not even properly documented. You see what I'm saying? But the situation, people are not supposed to consume more than 0.1 milligrams of it daily within the 12-hour work shift, and even daily. You're not supposed to consume more than 0.1 milligrams of this substance, of rat poison, okay? Yet still, once again, people are applying it in random dosage amounts from morning to night, okay? And this is going on day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year for decades, right? Once again, it transfers by being metabolized into the body. The woman's placenta, when the placenta develops in a woman, it transfers. This rat poison that's metabolized in her body, it transfers, it passes through her body to that of her embryo fetus, into the development of that baby, causing the harm. You know what I'm saying? And the harm it varies. You see what I'm saying? So this is why we see disproportionate health issues that quote unquote black people suffer, right? And people look up the heart disease, diabetes, the various forms of cancer, right? The obesity, right? It's a whole list of things that are new. Our elders in past generations were not suffering from these conditions at the rates that we're suffering from these things now. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It is a carcinogen. One, it is an endocrine disruptor, meaning that it damages all of your hormones. It disrupts your hormones. All right. It disrupts your reproductive system, right? All your reproductive organs, male or female, is damaging it. You see what I'm saying? This is documented, right? What is it? Your cardiovascular system, respiratory system. Let's say a woman does have a successful pregnancy, right? Full-term pregnancy. Well, her baby is not going to have random malformations. You see what I'm saying? Including, if the baby lives, it's different malformations. Like, for example, asthma. Asthma is a malformation. You see what I'm saying? And this rat poison, once again, disrupts people's respiratory system. You see what I'm saying? So imagine that. Rat poison going through the placenta to the baby, is feeding the baby like the baby's being fed whatever mommy eating, and rat poison included in that because mommy's applying rat poison. She's washing her hair with it, she's spraying it, she's with the lotion, etc. You see what I'm saying? So the baby catching all of that. You see what I'm saying?
Anyway, even the vaginal creams. All of those things. Shaving creams, vaginal creams, all of those
creams. Yeah.
All those specialized. It's crazy, bro. This shit is crazy, man.
I didn't even look at the vaginal creams, to be honest with you. I ain't even looking at those. But yeah,
this shit is crazy, bro.
And see, bottom line, people gotta seriously ask themselves, like, just because on the front it says in big pretty letters and it's a nice ticket, it's a nice price on the product, like, oh, this product ain't cheap, so I know it's good for me. It says all natural, it says for natural, it says da 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 da. It says all the pretty words that these corporations in my book. I show the people, I show the reader, these corporations follow the trends of the consumer. They know that quote unquote black women want to be healthy. They study this. And they got quote unquote black women embedded within our communities, studying them, returning that information, like literally doing reconnaissance, studying the people in the communities, like, hey, boss, there's a trend with these people in this community with the CMOS. Yeah, we gotta do something about CMOS, for example. You see what I'm saying? So they go back to the boss about it, and the boss like, okay, what should we do about it? Well, I think we should make a product and we get it to the people. And yeah, since I got a relationship with these people in this community, I can get it to them. Okay, bet that we'll give you everything you need to poison the people then. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is the modern eugenicist. That ties into the Negro Project. I'm not going to get into that right now, right? But back to the health issues, right? Once again, traveling, this is crossing the Pacific, sabotaging the natural development of the baby, male or female, all right? You also got a situation where the child's IQ is decreased. Like it's called a teratogen. Look up teratogen, T-E-R-A, T-O-G-E-N, teratogen. Look up teratogen, all right? That's literally what this rat poison substance is, okay? This means that it is toxic to the development of a baby. So imagine how many teratogenous people we have moving around that have reduced intellectual quotients, people with social, developmental, and behavioral problems, because it's known that teratogens, rat poison, it causes all these issues. Social problems, behavior, developmental issues, mental function, your neurological function, etc. That's in addition to the actual health issues. Like, so, you got the unseen health issues, and then you got the seen, the physical. So you got the mental going into the physical health issues. You know what I mean?
And I'm glad you brought up the health issues because that's my specialty. That's my expertise, right? There's so many, just what you speaking, I'm thinking of like so many different threats that our people go through without even touching rat poison, right? A lot of the stress is self-induced. Including, applying products and consuming foods and other things, or food-related substances or food-like substances, right? All of this, everything a person can consume, in this capitalistic society, right? Whether they know it or not, it's causing the body to go through major adverse effects. And when you couple it with the lack of nourishment, malnourishment, right? You're talking about an onslaught of degenerative diseases that are happening by proxy. Now you have this thing where, okay, now we're going to apply these substances to our bodies topically, right? That's straight to the bloodstream. And then when you're talking about this part right here, indigenous people have to understand that you're the most important aspect of melanin in your body is neuromelanin. That's what animates you. That's what makes you animated, literally. That's, even how you feel about yourself. You can be down because your brain can be inflamed. like people don't really understand like how poisoning works, and they blame everything on themselves as if they're all right to blame themselves, like as if they're not sabotaged in any kind of way, as if they're operating completely off of natural harmony, and they can validate that through their lifestyle every day, right? And I'm saying I'm not relieving pressure. I'm just adjusting the focal point on a major problem, which is self-sabotage through ignorance. So what happens when you got a bunch of people, not only are they eating McDonald's in a certain neighborhood where McDonald's are, on every other block, you have that coupled with, they just came outside after washing their hair with these heavy detergents, these emulsifiers, these surfactants, these cleansing agents, these chemicals that bring flavor, not flavor, but the olfactory scent and the aroma, the parfum. They also connect warfarin with parfum, right? And PARFUM. You find that in all your soaps, even your black home soaps. You find parfum all up in there. Just because it sounds and looks like perfume, you just, it's all right. I'm good. And the perfume industries ain't all that either. So it's kind of like, what have you found to be, in your studies regarding the health aspect of this warfaring thing? What has been like the most intense health defect that you've seen caused from this onslaught, and why do you feel that way? Why do you think that that's, whatever you're going to speak on, why do you think that that's the most intense health defect given way by this warfaring situation?
Yeah, your point. I couldn't hear your question clearly, but from what I was able to gather, you said you was asking what do I think in my research is like the craziest health issue.
Exactly.
I mean, bottom line, the craziest I would say is the fact by this rat poison traveling from the mother through the placenta to the baby, right? And we see 17-year-olds developing cancers, right? Diabetes. We see youth very young, like elementary, middle school, high school age youth with obesity issues, right? We see people bleeding to death from whatever type of injuries they may suffer, because once again, poison literally is a blood thinner. So the illest, I would say, is the fact that it's disrupting the health and well-being of the youth. The youth lifeline, their lifetime, their life cycle has been reduced, cut short early. You see what I'm saying? It's for me, it's just not one thing, because for example, right, I have a friend of mine, right? She just had endometriosis related surgery. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And me as a natural man, like knowing no woman suffering. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly. Mm-hmm.
To be close to a woman, what have you? You know what I'm saying? This is a friend of mine, and she telling me, due to this endometriosis fibroid situation, you know what I mean, which is caused by the rat poisoning, right? Rat poisoning, this coumarin warfarin situation, it causes horrible menstrual cycles. It causes tumors and fibroids to develop nature. For a woman to be bleeding, you know what I'm saying, to have a 4-month long consistent menstrual cycle, right? And then I'm doing research, and I found out, you found out Procter and Gamble is manufacturing tampons. Like, yo, she's giving all this money to these people, these same eugenicists that poison her, so that she can manage her health. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so for me, it's just not one particular thing for me. I mean, it's a whole list. Like in my book, I've list, all these health issues that this rat poison causes. You see what I'm saying? I mean, people, they suffer throughout their lifetime due to this.
And I want to highlight that when you're speaking on mutations, you're speaking genetics. Now, cellular respiration and the compromise of that is what oxidative stress is, right? Now, everything against that is poison. That's what poison is. Anything that goes against that. It could be natural or unnatural. That's why you got this to use, so you know whatever that you're consuming or you subject yourself to environmentally is conducive for your homeostasis. However, anything that interrupts cellular respiration is dealing with necrosis. You're dealing with breakdown. You're dealing with apoptosis. That's the bottom line. And the genetic, the nucleic genomes, we're talking about the nuclear, the DNA, the nuclear DNA, not the mitochondrial DNA. The mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, right? And the nucleus, the nucleic aspect of the cell is what makes you. That makes who you are, your formality, right? So, or your disposition, all of that stuff. Once that process is interrupted, as a byproduct of that, your body starts to print out what we call diseases, right? So for anyone that needs a little bit of explanation on oxidative stress, that was it. There's more to it, but I just want to bring context to a scientific conversation, because oxidative stress is the opening of the door to anything that wants you dead. Because your cell, let me tell you something. You know what makes stage 4 cancer so deadly is the fact that once it hits your cells and your bloodstream and your blood cells start to go, it doesn't take a matter of but minutes before you're done for. That's where because it has a task to carry your oxygen. Even though blood cells, they don't have a nucleus. That's why they're powered by glucose. They don't have a mitochondria or a nucleus. So the blood cells don't hold DNA, or at least the red blood cells. But you have every other cell in your body just about has a nucleus and it has data to it. And how you live manages that data, because that's everything you want to be, whether it's worse or better. And whatever that looks like, that's just what it is, right? So this conversation really, is not about highlighting poison just to really get into the fear mongering or anything like that. This is to relate it to, like you mentioned, my brother, the health issue. We're being affected by this. They're not just making this just so they can look at warfare in a glass jar and say, "Ooh, look what we accomplished." No, they have an agenda, and that agenda has well been underway. We're very late to this conversation, and because of that, many of our people have suffered casualties, mutations called diseases that, cause premature casualties, premature death, right? And suffering worse than death, and you're not living for yourself. So people who love you, who are meant to care for you, they have to witness this. And then the stubbornness that goes along with it is related to the hijacking, the poisoning. So it becomes this ever-going cycle that, only, that divine intervention can break when you're really pushing what you need to push. But my thing is, all of this is relating to the health issue. You know what I mean? It's not just about, I got to eat greens, and stay away from meat because meat got this poison in it. No, if you're going to eat if you're throwing meat away, but you're going to throw Afro Sheen or this hair texture changing, chemicals in your hair, you might as well go get that steak. I'm not saying you should, but to trade that and then go in and use all this, people they still lighting candles that are chemical. They still spraying Febreze, Lysol, chemicals. They still using bleach products, ammonia, all of that stuff, the cleaning agents, all of that. And then on top of that, showering with the soaps, with the you got laundry detergent, You know, they spray xenoestrogens. Look up xenoestrogens. People running their mouth talking about phytoestrogens. Phytoestrogens help you. They're called isoflavones. They're some of the most powerful chemical agents in the plant world. And people who are not learned are running their mouth too much. And they're getting everything wrong. And they don't even know they're misleading the people. That's a health issue. I advise everyone on this live, you check your own health issue first and how much you know about it before you go running to everyone else, because misinformation in this arena can get a lot of people killed and get a lot of people hurt. You know what I mean? If you don't know anything about a thyroid, a parathyroid, a hippocampus, you know, the pituitary gland, you know, it being the master gland and not the pineal gland, because glands is what we're talking about. And 80% of cancer is adenocarcinoma. You know what adenocarcinoma means? Glandular carcinoma. And everybody's already adrenal spent by 12 p.m. By 12, that's why they call it lunchtime, because you need a break. They already know they stressed you out the night before because you anticipating work. So you already got their double stress, because now the reality is setting in. And by the time, you know, 3 hours hit, 3 hours hit, your adrenal glands is already worn out. And then the warfarin is setting in from them oils because you're sweating, you're perspiring.
Yeah, see, check it. So I see in the comments right here, someone just mentioned how cannabis heals. Now, this rat poison, if you look into the subject, right, it uses the same cytochromes that marijuana, tobacco, alcohol, the same metabolites that the cannabis,
P450. P450.
Exactly. It bonds to those. It utilizes those same cytochromes. You see what I'm saying? And so it's a real dangerous situation here. All right, it's very dangerous because, like, literally in my research, I found how you had people literally die because they're smoking weed while they've been prescribed warfarin. Because keep in mind, warfarin is a prescription. It's prescribed as a blood thinner. Coumadin, warfarin, these are blood thinners. Originally, it was a rat poison. Then later, it was being prescribed as a blood thinner, and this is why it's being included in the personal care cosmetic products, because all these corporations profit from this.
And the reason
they profit from the decline of the health of the people.
And another reason why they market to our stock, because they flooding these products all up in the beauty supply store. I wage war to the beauty supply. The beauty supply store is just as bad as the hospital. Straight up. You can find just as many chemicals in the beauty supply store as you can find in the pharmaceuticals. That's straight up and down. So with my awareness increasing, right, you know, I wage war against those things that wage war with us. And it's a way we do battle, and awareness of these things is how we do battle. But awareness of self is first. You're not eating food for the food's sake. You're eating food for your nourishment. Everything has to be brought back to the one, the self, because that's who's affected, yourself. So what does melanated people have to do with this, especially of American Indian stock, right? It has everything to do with how strong our melanin binds. What people don't know is melanin is a strong binder. It's one of the strongest alkaloids by polymers on the planet. I mean, literally, they're still trying to find out just how to control it. Forget trying to destroy it. They already tried that, failure. They just want to know how to control it. So how would you extract enough melanin just to experiment and then have someone, you know, in the bank when you start production of these synthetic alloys for your warfare mechanisms called tanks, army trucks, rims and shit? You know, where are you going to get the surplus of resources? It's us, people. So what's going to cause us to give that up? Because we got to literally be on the death table for that. How can we cause the most premature death for a specific group of people, flood their neighborhoods with specific things that will quietly, quiet weapons for silent wars.
Yep, solid weapons for quiet
Everybody's focused on the loud chatter. The greatest war waged against you is to get your attention. Distractions. They don't care if it's right or wrong. They just care you caught up in it. As long as you caught up in it, you're wasting time. And if you're wasting time, you're susceptible to the acts yourself. And you can't even see it coming. But anyway, like you said, the pass down, right? I'm an 80s baby, so I'm a product of drug dealers and drug users, right? So drug metabolism is a very real thing. And if you don't detox that transfers too. Drugs don't just come out in your little urine and your little shit because you're drinking some ginger juice and you're doing your little cucumber every morning. You got to literally live a lifestyle of detoxing, recovery. It's called drug metabolism. Look it up.
That's right. And that's what I was saying about the rat poison. It literally bonds with the same cytochromes, the same metabolites that processes all of the substances that your body consumes. You know what I'm saying? It's utilizing that while it's depleting your cells of nutrients. All the minerals, vitamins, nutrients that you're consuming. So how I term it, if you have the healthiest diet, right? Let's say you're a super raw vegan, right? Or let's say you're a vegan or vegetarian, pescatarian, whatever it is you want to be. It don't matter. If you might as well be eating McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? You might as well be, because at the end of the day, the rat poison is depleting your cell of all vitamins, nutrients, and minerals that your body intakes. And then if you consume anything additional, it's benefiting off of that too. It's metabolized. It's designed to metabolize and destroy.
And then from there, you have genetic mutations. Because once it the lack of defense means more open for invasion, right? So now you got your nucleus. I'm gonna tell you like this: the nucleus to the body is like the index to a book. If you want to know your index, your glossary, everything, your biography, your bibliography, everything, you go to the nucleic genome. You go to the nuclear DNA, right? The nucleic DNA. So once it invades there, now it starts twitching with things, turning things off, I'm not going to get into all the science. I'm just going to do it to where we can really understand what's going on. Start switching one thing off that you need on to be safe. And then it switches on something that you need off to be safe. And that's where the genetic mutations come in, and your body prints that out in the rough endoplasmic reticulum through the ribosomes, RNA, all of that stuff. Now you got proteins, coding and proteins that are forming until you get the full mirror picture. You can see it in real time, right? So you add on, we already got a generational thing going on from the perms to the chemicals they was wearing in the 60s, 70s, 80s, all of that shit. And now, the drug usage, all the liquor, all the substance abuse, pharmaceutical drugs rule them all, right? And people, you got whole generations that haven't even detoxed. Whole generations ain't never touched a detox after they left grandmama's principle, because grandma used to wake you up every season to go get that root tonic. You was taking cod liver oil, you was taking castor oil, you was taking something. But now you're not, that practice is gone. So my thing is, highlighting the health aspect of, the anatomical aspect, what people are made of and how that affects them, because once it gets in your neuromelanin, it's binding. That's why a lot of our people are having more neurological issues, because it's binding to the neuromelanin, and neuromelanin is, once again, we're talking about something that is created from the substantia nigra and the locus coeruleus. If you look up those two pigmented nuclei, you will realize why they don't even talk about melanin and melanated dominance over, I would say, albinoid inferiority. This is all genetics. This ain't racist talk. This ain't got nothing to do with that. This is studied science by more people that look unlike me than people who look like me. They validate this more than I do. So it's time to holistically tie all of this up into context, because I can sound smart, I can get here and say all these words, but we got to draw a line in the sand and get to the exact nature. So, you know, we're talking about this passing on to the babies, right? Let's get into life expectancy, you know, to close it up, because I think we don't have, you know, we're getting into the time frame soon. Let's talk about how much time do those babies have? How much does it shorten over, you know, the reproductive stages as we go on? How is their lifespan affected by such a bombardment of warfare?
Yo, bottom line, you know, you have a lot of women that suffer miscarriages and preterm abortions. All right, so it really varies on the you know, the strength of the woman's body. You see what I'm saying? It really varies, and this is why you have, you know, for example, right? You have the autism spectrum, right? You know what I'm saying? In my research, the reason, you know, somebody asked what's the name of it, Coumarin, Coumarin. That's what you'll see in personal care cosmetic products. So this is a rat poison, right? The Coumarin is a rat poison, so it is related to the autism spectrum. All right. So now, if the baby lives,
let me get this clear. This is not the Coumarin that you find in burdock root, guaco, and your healing agents. This is the Coumarin that was developed due to extracting nature's chemicals, because they can't patent nature. They can only patent a carbon copy. Well, if they could get a carbon copy, they may just get a copy.
See, the situation is this, right? No one is consuming Coumarin naturally in the amounts that will cause blood thinning or carcinogenicity. No one is consuming like how much burdock you have to consume in order for your blood to thin.
Man, you have to drink a whole gallon of that shit.
Yeah, who's really going to sit down in one sitting and drink a gallon versus someone applying, you know, 15 milligrams in the lotion, another 5 milligrams their shampoo, another 10 milligrams from their from their spray and whatever else. You see what I'm saying? Like so back to your question as far as the life expectancy, I mean, it really varies. You know, you have the Planned Parenthood Armor Research Locker, the Guttmacher Institute, right? That's the eugenesis. That's the research arm of the eugenesis Planned Parenthood network, right? So they literally study the census records throughout the decades. Okay, they study it, and so through these studies, they have been able to determine the life expectancy of quote unquote Black people. All right. So in regards to child mortality rates or infant mortality rates, they have statistics for that. You know what I'm saying? They have it traced and tracked decade after decade. All right, the decline in the people's health, and so then you factor that part in, and you know, I'm just going to go a little bit further. Once again, we're talking about Planned Parenthood.
And once again, I suggest everybody on the live, male or female, go look into those statistics. Go check it out. Don't just listen. Go check it out after the live. Check out those statistics, y'all. Go. Yeah, proceed, bro. I just wanted to make sure the people know that the information is out there, and that, you know, they need to go get it.
Yeah, you know, I consolidated a lot of this information in the book, and all the references are throughout the entire book itself. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, so while once again you have women that are suffering miscarriages, preterm abortions, and all of that, right? And literally, Planned Parenthood has been selling those aborted fetuses. Okay, and often these babies are not dead; they literally are killing the babies. So while sabotaging the health of the woman on a reproductive level and just the whole physical structure of the woman's body, right? Now they're providing the gynecological services. Okay, like imagine the reason why I say these are eugenicists that are behind all of this. These are eugenicists. These are people that do not want you to live. They don't want you to exist. They don't see a purpose for your existence. And once again, these are foreigners that are on our American land. This is ours. You see what I'm saying? They're not doing this in Europe. You know what I'm saying? They haven't targeted the specific various European populations over there the way that they targeted our American population over here. You see what I'm saying?
So listen, hold. Time is hit. Time is out. I knew the time was hitting. Listen, we got to do a part 2. All right, we gotta bring this back because there's more to discuss. I hope everybody on the line got some good information. listen, if you got any questions, follow Aboriginal American Truths. Support the brand.